guys, my name is Jenna. If you guys are new here, welcome back to my channel and welcome to video number 2 in my wedding planning series. If you guys are new here, I got engaged in September of last year. It's currently April and I'm taking you guys through my whole entire wedding planning journey. This is video number 2 and my first video was 2 months ago, so I have a lot to fill you guys in on the stuff that I've done in the last 2 months. My first video was actually a whole wedding venue hunting video. It was so much fun. I toured 5 different DC hotels in the Washington DC area and I did choose one. So if you guys want to know which DC hotel I'm getting married at, then check out the first video. For this video, wedding planning video number 2, I want to go through with you all things wedding vendors. The vendors that I chose and just kind of all the things that I've done 12 months plus for my wedding, because I'm trying my best to not get too stressed about this freaking wedding. Sometimes when I look online on social media, there's like too much. And I know eventually I'll get to everything, but when I'm 12 months plus out, I just don't want to stress out because I feel like I don't need to. I have over a year. And for that reason, I decided to book all of my big vendors when I was 12 months plus out, just because I felt like it would help with the stress that I know is going to eventually come. So I think that's everything for this intro. If you guys like what you hear, then let's just go ahead and get started. A quick disclaimer too, in terms of my wedding planning series, I'm not going to be sharing exact like budget amounts with you guys. I will be sharing some fees, where you're getting married, when you're getting married, and like what day of the week you're getting married. All of that changes in terms of what your wedding cost will actually be for yourselves. And so for that reason, I'm not going to share like my exact budget, but I just think it's important to have a budget in general. So I'm not going to be sharing my exact prices for everything, but I will share like some things here and there. So you just have to pay attention, okay? And I will share some stuff. Okay, let's talk wedding vendors and just kind of like where I'm at 12 months plus out. At this point, I have the wedding venue, which as you guys know is a DC hotel. I went with a hotel for a plethora of reasons. One, I wanted like a city vibe because I'm not necessarily like someone to get married in like a vineyard or a yard or a garden or something. I just wanted like that city feel. If I wanted that city feel, I wanted a hotel so that I could have like a more inclusive experience. So my wedding venue in Washington, DC is, I think, a 5-star hotel. It is a 5-star hotel. I had no idea. My wedding venue includes food, alcohol / open bar. That was really important to me. And it also includes tables, chairs, linens, silverware, chinaware, and even a dance floor, and even your cake. So I think for a lot of people, if you're not going a hotel route, you have to get separate vendors for like your chair rentals, table rentals, separate vendor for catering, separate vendor for alcohol, or get the alcohol yourself. All of those things were included in my wedding venue. So that's why this like vendors part 2 isn't going to be too crazy. I just think that these were like the biggest vendors that I wanted to book when I was still over a year out, aside from the venue. So that's everything that's included in the venue. The second thing that I booked right away in terms of vendors was my entertainment. I decided to go a DJ route just because I feel like, honestly, my venue is big enough for a live band. I just don't think it's something that I really personally need. When it comes to planning your own wedding, I feel like you really think about like what are like the non-negotiables and what things you kind of like don't care for. And since a live band was not something I like necessarily cared for, I just decided not to do it because I feel like they cost more than a DJ. So I decided to go a DJ route. Also, disclaimer, when I say I mean Thomas and myself, my fiance. I would say I made like most of the decisions, but I run through every single decision that I finalize with him. Like Thomas is like my stamp of approval for things. So just want to disclaim that as well. Thomas and I decided to have a DJ at our wedding because not only did we not really care about having a live band, even though there was room for it, Thomas and I actually have 2 older siblings. Thomas has an older sister, I have an older sister, and we found out / realized that both of our older sisters had the same DJ at their wedding. And so we were like, that would be so cool if we had the same DJ that was at our sisters' weddings that we loved so much at our wedding. Sister got married at a vineyard, Thomas's sister got married at like a modern barn, and our wedding will be a city. And that doesn't really have to do with the DJ, like our DJ does all different venues all the time. I just thought it was something that like was a full circle thing for us. So yeah, we are having a DJ at our wedding and his name is DJ Edo. He's really, really popular in the DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia, and he's also a Korean DJ. He's very, very well known and we love him. Once I got his email, I reached out, asked if he was available on our wedding date, and then we had a call with him to make sure that we were a good fit. That was the same process that I kind of went through with all of my vendors. I found someone, emailed them, we had a call before we're locking it in. There's different tiers for DJs, which I forgot. I feel like I knew that, but I just forgot when I was helping my sister plan her wedding in 2018. I did not know this. My sister actually told me this when we were wedding venue shopping, but your DJ will actually include like your audio and your extra uplighting. If your venue has an upcharge, don't get that yet until you talk to your DJ if you have a DJ, because a lot of times your DJ includes, since there's like a whole entertainment package, it will include your audio, like your microphones and stuff like that. And it will even include uplighting. So like if you have pillars or a big giant wall, you'll have like little pendant lights that are on the bottom that like shoot up light and you can change the color and stuff. So I did not know that, or I just forgot. And so for that reason, we decided to do the very highest package for our DJ, which includes full ceremony audio, full reception DJ. We're even gonna do some games and stuff during dinner, and that's all through our DJ because he'll also be our MC. So I think it would be so much fun. This is like the thing that I talk about the most, and I'll iron out all the details later, but I really wanna have some sort of like trivia, raffle, prizes for our guests during the wedding, especially during dinner when like you're just eating and stuff and you're not having dances or speeches. I just think it would be really fun. And so the DJ included in their highest package games, which was just awesome. The highest package also included like extra microphones, there's a projector, and then there's like seamless transitions with all of your songs and stuff for the ceremony and the reception. So I'm really excited to have a DJ, and DJ Edo is gonna be so good. I actually found out during our call with him that he used to be the resident DJ back when the Hotel Washington was called the W Hotel, which is really cool. So he's really familiar with the space, which is something that like made me even more comfortable to want to choose him. So that is our DJ. That was the next thing that we got 12 months plus out, because I just feel like DJs, they lock up pretty quickly. The next vendor that we got was our photographer. And to be honest, I did not do too much research in terms of wedding photographers because I kind of knew I already wanted this person. Technically, she's my vendor, but she's actually a newer friend of mine that I made. My wedding photographer is going to be Annette Lee Photography, and I'm very, very excited. You'll see a pattern, but I really tried my best to find as many Korean/Asian vendors as possible for my wedding, just because like it's something that's important to me. I want to support Asian vendors where I can. And I recently met Annette, I want to say like maybe 6 months ago, because she does a lot of photography for run events and just overall like events in general in the whole DMV area. So I connected with her. I really loved her portfolio. I love the way that Annette just captures pure emotion during events. It's not too posed. It's just like people having a good time. And to be honest, like all of the wedding photographers that I found, the ones that like specified in wedding photography, there was just such a premium. Photos is really high priority for me, but it wasn't so high priority that I wanted to pay over like $7,000, which all of the DC wedding photographers kind of started at around there. So when I found Annette, I reached out to her to see if she was available and just to make sure that we were a good fit. She has done a lot of weddings before, but I just really love her as a photographer because she doesn't just do weddings. She does all things like portraits, sports events, actual events, conferences, and weddings. So I feel like she just has a more well-rounded skill and eye. And so I'm really excited. Annette is going to be our photographer, and I will leave her on top of all of the vendors linked down below if you guys are interested. Definitely do your research if you don't know too many photographers personally. The vibe in terms of our photography also is very like natural. That was something more specific from Thomas that he requested. He didn't want something too filmy or too like over edited. He wanted something very natural, timeless. And I wanted just like a touch of vintage, just a touch, like 20% of the vintage aesthetic, but just something that would match our vibe and something that was natural and timeless was like our main thing. And again, when you're looking at the portfolio of all these photographers, you want to make sure that it matches what you want. And Annette was perfect. So she was honestly just a perfect fit, and I'm really excited to have her for our wedding. Next for our vendors, we have wedding planning / coordination. So as you guys know, I'll be planning my wedding like entirely myself and Thomas and with my family and stuff, but I'll be making a lot of the decisions and doing the research, and I'm gonna dedicate the time, like however much time it takes to do that. And so for that reason, I didn't want a full-on wedding planner. And I do have experience from 2018 when I did help my sister plan her wedding. I do remember a lot of the things, but I did want coordination. That was something that was really important to me, because even though I didn't need like a full wedding planner, someone to make decisions and stuff for me, I wanted a coordinator for at least the week of the wedding, for the specific reason of I did not want any friends or family setting up my wedding. I wanted my friends and family to just chill also on my wedding and get ready and like not stress out that much. And so for that reason, I decided it was really high priority to have a coordinator / wedding planner. Usually they come together, like coordination and wedding planning. So I Googled a lot of wedding planners in the DMV area, and then I actually found Dear My Event. I think they had followed me on Instagram. I was finding a lot of vendors through Instagram, honestly. I just felt like it was more effective than Google because you could see their portfolio and everything all at one time. And I found Dear My Event, which is not only a wedding planning company / coordination, but they're also a partner with Mellow Flower, which which is Florals. And so when I connected with Olivia from Dear My Event and we had a conversation about like what I needed, what I wanted, if we were a good fit in terms of general for wedding planning and like where I was at, I did not know this, but she actually offers a month of coordination, not just the week of. So starting from the month of my wedding, she will handle all vendor communication, including week of, day of, and even setup and takedown. And she's also Korean, which as you guys know is like very important to me. So for all of those reasons, I was like, we're a perfect fit. I would love to book you as my coordinator. So Olivia / Dear My Event is going to be my month of coordination for my wedding, and I'm so excited. If you guys are in the DMV area, check out Olivia and Dear My Event. Everything is just amazing, and I like fully trust her. I can't wait to include her even more. So yeah, that was the next thing that I wanted 12 months out, because a lot of wedding planners / coordinators already have relationships with vendors. So Olivia already had some recommendations for me in terms of other vendors that I was looking for. So Dear My Event is my coordination, and because of that, I was like, well, if we're already working together, then I would love to book your partner for my florals. Mellow Flower is my floral vendor, but I will say I haven't picked out my florals at all. I've just like booked her and paid a deposit to secure her as my wedding vendor next year. I'm honestly not really sure about my color palette. It's just something that I feel like I'll decide when I am 12 months out. I'm just really indecisive about it for some reason. I feel like kind of everything looks good. So I'm not sure. My florals though will coordinate with obviously the color palette. So I don't have anything done in terms of like the design of the florals. All I know is that like my bouquet, and if I do get any real flowers, they will be through Mellow Flower. But I was transparent with Stella at Mellow Flower that I'm just really nervous about the final cost of flowers because it's not a big priority for me. And so for that reason, I told her that I wanted to mix fake flowers with real flowers. So I'm not exactly sure what that means yet. I booked Stella for any real flowers. So any real flowers that I get, it will be through Mellow Flower, but I am still kind of brainstorming design ideas in terms of how to incorporate fake flowers with just like things that I don't need the real flowers for. So if you guys have gotten married or you've been at weddings, definitely leave your comments below in terms of flowers. I will be really specific about like where I'm asking for your feedback and your recommendations and advice. It's not going to be everything because I don't want advice for everything, but I do really want your experience overall, like recommendations in terms of flowers. It is something that I think will vary based on person and personality. Like, does someone actually care about real flowers or not? So I would just love to know, did you care about flowers at your own wedding? Do you care about flowers as a wedding guest? And I know that in the end it's whatever I want, but I'm just kind of curious what you guys would say about flowers. So Mellow Flower is my floral vendor. 2 more vendors to go through. I guess they do kind of go hand in hand, but videography / content creation. I was actually pretty gung-ho set on not having a videographer. It's just something that I felt like I didn't want to pay thousands of dollars for when I edit my own long form videos like twice a week for the last 5 years. It just felt like something that I had a hard time outsourcing because I just felt like I could do it myself. And especially after watching a lot of wedding videos on YouTube, I just kind of felt like I knew the template of like your typical wedding video. It's kind of like trailer, there's like dramatic music, and then it goes to like party music and all the things. I was like, I just feel like I can make this myself. And at first I was like, if I can edit my own video, then maybe I won't have like the post-wedding blues of feeling really sad that the wedding is over because I'll have the video to edit myself. And so very early on, I decided to have content creators instead. And not content creators that will like make TikToks and stuff, but I actually hired 2 of my older sisters, really good friends that are really good with a camera and really good with like having a good aesthetic eye. I reached out to them, I offered them a price, and I said, I will give you the hardware. Like, I have cameras for this. I have my DJI for vertical content. I have this camera, my Sony, for horizontal content. I was like, if I can hire you guys to just attend my wedding and get the raw footage, I would love for you to be my content creators. And like, I would handle all of the editing myself. They would literally just serve as people to attend the wedding to get all of the footage themselves, so that again, my friends and family don't have to worry about doing that. So they said yes, and I'm very excited. Their names are Victoria and Nicole, and I will link their Instagrams down below. I looked into also like wedding specific content creators, but I don't know. I have a pretty creative sister and she has creative friends. I'm a creative person. I was like, if I could book some of my sister's friends, then my older sister could have some friends at my wedding, and I just feel like I would trust them more rather than it being kind of like a random vendor, a random person, a stranger. So yeah, if you guys can't tell, I'm like pretty big on connections for things. I would just rather make a connection and see how I can hire them for my wedding versus like finding someone totally random and then hiring them for like my most important day of my life. So I relied on connections a lot for this, and they're gonna be my content creators. I'm so excited. And then the last vendor that I have is videography. All of that being said, I did hire a videographer. Okay. Me and Thomas were so set on not having a videographer. Like the only one that I liked that I got a recommendation for, their starting price was $7,500 for like their smallest package. And I was like, I just don't have the budget for that because I didn't think that video was a pretty big priority. But then I actually got some advice from some family members and friends that had gotten married that didn't have a videographer, that they regretted not having a videographer. And so I was like, okay, the content creators will get the raw footage. I'll just edit it myself. Like, it's fine. And then I was going through my typical life, la-di-da, and I found Taylor Longcrier on TikTok. She is a documentary style wedding videographer, and I just absolutely fell head over heels for her portfolio. I had no idea where she was. I just found her because I'm on like wedding TikTok. I just literally fell in love with her style. She does like not the cheesy trailer wedding video that everyone knows, but she does more documentary style, like The Office style, where there's interviews, there's gonna be some background music, but not too much, not too dramatic. It'll be more like a home video than a trailer. And I'm so excited. I reached out to her and I was like, I found you on TikTok, are you available? Transparently, she's actually not available on my actual wedding day because she herself is getting married, which I'm very happy for her for, but she did offer her assistant to come. She's in a different state. I think she's in Oklahoma or something, but I just wanted to inquire about her prices for travel because I was nervous that it was gonna be like $10,000 with travel and stuff. But she actually offered me a pretty good price because her assistant would come and get all of the footage, or her partner. Assistant or partner, I'm not exactly sure. She was like, I would hire this person for my own wedding. And so she would still edit it herself, but she would have a different person actually come and get the footage of my wedding. I found her actually when I was in Korea. So I was traveling and I emailed her. I was like, are you available? It was just a really good fit. And I feel like that's the most research or like the most waiting that I had done in terms of getting vendors, the videographer, because I didn't know any connections, and the ones that I did have, the recommendations that I did have, they were just out of budget, unfortunately. So when I found Taylor, it was within my budget. I love her style, and I am like so excited to have her edit my wedding video. I feel like it's gonna be something that Thomas and I will actually wanna watch like every single year, and it will be amazing. So I did end up getting a videographer, and that's the last vendor. Those are all of the vendors. I'll put a list right here. These are all of the vendors that I booked with over a year out from my wedding. The stuff that's left is makeup and hair. Personally, I don't think I'm gonna get my makeup done. I just think I can do my makeup myself. I'm like educated enough in doing my own makeup. I'm not wearing any makeup right now, but I just wanted something really natural anyways, and I wanna look like myself. And I like know all the techniques. I was on the beauty side of YouTube in high school, so I know everything. But hair, I think I will get a vendor for my hair. I'm gonna try my best to hire the girl that colors my hair and the girl that's done my hair for the last 5 years. So I'm gonna try to hire her, Hair X Jojo, you guys know her. And then I still have to get my dress. I'm gonna wait until I'm like 9 to 12 months out because I don't wanna get my dress too early. And then any decor, I'll do that myself, obviously. The only thing that I have left to actually book in terms of vendors is a photo booth, because I'm just really picky. I have found that I'm very picky about the photo booth. Like there's certain things that I don't want, and I'm trying to figure out like what type of photo booth I want to. I don't want like a 360. I don't want something too like cheesy. I want something like very classy because we're having like a Washington DC 5-star hotel wedding, you know? So I still have yet to figure out what I'm gonna do for a photo booth in terms of an actual vendor. So I guess if any of you guys are in the DMV area and you have suggestions, let me know. Everything else is all DIYs. Decor, gifts, save the dates, invites, favors. I'm gonna DIY all of that myself. And then like any signage, I'm not exactly sure yet, honestly, what I want, so I haven't booked that. I don't know if I want like actual signs or I don't know, like linens of some sort. Still trying to sort out my actual like design style, but my coordinator can help me with that too in terms of brainstorming. And so yeah, photo booth is the last vendor to book, and any additional rentals that I want, like a stage for the ceremony, stuff like that, that needs to be later on too. I haven't done that yet too, so that needs to be next. And yeah, that is everything for this wedding planning video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know that not all of you guys are married or I'm not exactly sure, honestly, who's watching this, who's married or not, or if maybe you're planning your wedding too and you just wanted to listen to what someone else is doing. I'm trying my best to ground myself in this whole giant event that I'm planning, that in the end, this is just me and Thomas getting married. This is us like starting our forever together on one day with all of our loved ones. I'm really excited and I'm gonna try my best to not be too stressed about it or be a bridezilla or anything. I just wanna be really chill, simplify things as much as possible, and enjoy the process. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like this, make sure you're subscribed so that you can stay tuned for the next wedding planning series video. And I think that's everything. I will see you guys in a new video very soon. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. I post new videos twice a week in 2025. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video, but until then, miss you already.